friends, I am Molly West, the Sensible Stitcher, and today is July 1st, and I am very overdue for a cross stitch update. I have a lot to show and not just a ton of time today, so I'm going to move pretty quickly through these, and hopefully I will remember fabric counts, fabric names, things like that, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to start with some FFOs, fully finished objects, and then I will move on to some finished objects, and then I'm going to put these things away. This is going to be a little bit more in sections, videoed in sections. So I'll start with 3 tiny little patriotic pieces that I did. I haven't added trim to this, but these are stitched on 32 count taupe Lugana, and I will try to find the name of the designer and pattern for these. If I do, I'll put it in the bottom. So I have 3 tiny little dough bowl finishes. So these were already stitched. I think I stitched these last summer and then I FFO'd them. Then I have 2 Thanksgiving finishes, and I actually do have the pattern information on these. I have, this is called the Pumpkin Patch Pin Keep, and I used, where is it? There it is. I believe this is 32 count taupe Lugana. And I stitched it with the color Burnt Orange by Gentle Arts. And the design is Scissor Tail Designs, Pumpkin Patch Pin Keeps. And I stitched this one. And I've had it finished for a while, but I just made it into a pillow. I have not added any trim. And then the second one that I did that was kind of a fall or harvest looking piece is by Heartstring Samplery, and it's The Gobbler Rides Again. And I believe I also stitched this on 32 count taupe. I tend to use that for my dough bowl finishes. And I did make some changes to this one. I've mentioned them in older videos. I just added some fringed edge velvet to the middle of the pillow. I think he turned out cute. And then my last FFO is a Prairie Schooler, and it is, where is it? It's this little one, the Prairie Fairy from 1995. And I haven't put the needle in mine yet. Isn't it cute and fun? So she's sweet, and I think I finished the stitching maybe since I've seen you last. And I made, I think the main color change I made was switching her wing and her hoop and using, I think I used B5200 because the ecru that was called for didn't show up on my fabric. So those are sweet and cute, and they are done. Yay. I might add trim to a couple of them, but they're done for now. They're done-ish. Then I have some finished objects that I need to go and just find a frame for. So the first one is this one, and it is stitched on a 32 count bright white Lugana, and I used DMC 115 on this piece, and it is the Rose Motif Sampler by JBW. I think it turned out really pretty. And I did monochromatic May, so you're gonna see lots of red and white stuff. I had another small finish, which is this one, and it is Round Red Sampler by Heart and Hand. And I've obviously started another JBW down there, so I need to finish that one up. But that one turned out really cute. I also used DMC 115 on that, which is a variegated DMC. And on this one, I let the variegations show up a little bit more. On the first one, I was pretty conscientious about folding the thread so that the variegation was pretty seamless throughout. So there's this one, and it is on a 28 count linen. All three of the ones I'm getting ready to show you are stitched using big box fabric and big box DMC, because I think that a lot of times, the last one I stitched is this one. It's the Bristol Berries by Erica Michaels. And I also used 115, DMC 115. And I used some 28 count linen from a big box store, like a Joann's or someplace. And this one turned out beautiful too. I think it's important that we realize that, you know, you can spend $8 on a piece and it's still gonna turn out really, really pretty. This one turned out so pretty, and it has berries that I can also stitch, which is super fun and wonderful. So anyways, I had a very successful monochromatic May. I had 3 finishes, not FFOs, but finishes. So those are my only finishes. So I'm gonna take a quick time out and get some of this stuff put away, and then I'll bring in some of my whips. Okay, and new starts. See you in just a second. Okay, so also in May, I had some other monochromatic starts. One of them was JBW, Doggies in the Round. And I've started stitching in just the dogs, none of the background stuff, but it's super cute. And I recently bought another one of these charts, Kittens in the Round. So I'll be moving on to that shortly. What is this? Oh, here's another start. This one is so pretty. It is the Serbian Proverb by Lottie Daw. And this is also for my red and white sampler wall. And it says, be humble for you are made of earth, be noble for you are made of stars. And I have just a quick start on that. So this will be nice to come back to. I was using this as a car project for a while because it's on super duper stiff Monaco. So it's really lends itself to the car. It's been great. So I will keep this in here, and I am using just various DMCs for that. Let's see, let me keep going. The next thing that I had was, I got started on, I had a goal to finish one of my Blackbird Designs Anniversary of the Heart projects. And so I did. I started with Snow Garden, and I had mentioned that I wanted to stitch one of these per year, so this will be my first one, and I am stitching it on 32 count over 1. Everything that I've shown you before now has been on bright white. It's either 32 or 28 count 2 over 2. This is on 32 count 2 over 2, and I am using, I believe that this is, let's see, it looks a lot like, I think that this is like Country Mocha or whatever that's called, Vintage Country Mocha. And I completely changed the color palette in this because I really wanted for all of the designs to feature similar colors. So mine looks extremely different. I promise that all the stitches are in the correct place, but mine looks very, very different. Mine looks much more similar in color to all the rest of the charts. You know, just deeper, richer colors. So anyways, I went ahead and got the first one done on that. So that's a check in the box. I can put that away until 2024, which is fantastic. I like doing one a year. It really takes the pressure off. And I haven't personalized anything yet, so I'll figure that out. I've got 12 years. No rush, no hurry. Okay, what did I work on here? Oh, I know what I've worked on here. I'm working on the Little House Needleworks Village. And I have so far stitched in, what have I stitched in here? I'm gonna have to look at my piece because I've kind of forgotten. Okay, so I've started on I finished the tree farm and Pop's filling station and the schoolhouse. And I have a tiny little start. I started this one at Stitchcon. I went to Stitchcon Weekend B and it was a hoot. If you've never been, you should really go. If you can. If you can find time in your schedule, number one. That's the hardest part, I think, for so many of us. But, you know, if you live far away, it's not, you also have to be able to budget for all of the flight and time away from work, time away from family. So let's see if I can figure out which one I'm stitching right now. That would be great. I just started a new one. Let's see. Okay, so I have finished this one. I have finished this one. I have finished this one. And y'all, I think I started the quilt shop. I think this is the one that I'm working on right now. So I'd like to get this one finished. I am doing Jolly July, so I'm actually gonna set this to the side. I'd love to finish the quilt shop by the end of July. That would be super wonderful and fun. So I'm gonna set it over to the side for plans. My family went to Maui during March. It has been a long time since I've seen you guys, I'm sorry. And so I started Pretty Little Hawaii by Satsuma Street, and I'm sorry that my printer didn't seem to work well on this. And I gotta be real honest, I had more fun with my family than I had with my stitching, so not a whole lot to show here, and I think that that is a-okay. We went with extended family, so it wasn't just the 5 of us. There were a total of 11, and it was a hoot and a half. And this is how far I've gotten here. And the colors are fabulous. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. This is being stitched on, I wish I had my glasses. This, I think, is being stitched on, this is a linen. And it is 2/2. This looks like 32 count linen. And it looks like almost like a cream. Here's a white. Oh wait, I forgot to show that with my new starts. But this is also a new start, so we're good. So that's pretty, and that's kind of coming right along. Those designs are so bright and pretty, colorful. Okie dokie. And then I have another new start, which was, I've owned this for a long time. It's from Pana, and it's a red and white piece. I have a wall that features all red works. I just change things that are not even designed for red. I mean, some of them are, but not all of them are. And I just go ahead and change them to red work. And this is how far I've gotten on this one. Not very, but that's okay. So this was another monochromatic May start. I have it upside down. And this has a lot of black work, so I went ahead and put it on a Q-snap. I haven't started any of the black work yet, but I think it's gonna be beautiful. This is on a white Lugana, 32 count white Lugana. And I am using let me look and see if I'm using the kit. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am using the kit thread, but not the kit fabric. The kit fabric was Ada, and I move faster on Lugana, so that's what I went with. And let's see, I have one more new start. I did full coverage February, and it was a new start, and it was the only thing I worked on for all of February, and I've gone back and worked on it a few more times since then. And if you guys have been with me for a while, you might remember that I have tried to stitch this black and white horse by Heaven and Earth Designs before. And this is now my third attempt, and I'm finally happy with my fabric choice. I have found my groove. So let me pull it out. It's big. Okay, friends, so this is how far I have gotten on the horse. I am stitching him 2/2 full cross on Aztec red linen. And my goal for this guy is to get him to 10% by the end of 2023. And if I can keep that pace, I'll have him done in 10 years. I went ahead and went with 32 count. If you haven't been with me for a while, you might remember that I started it in Aztec Red. First, I started it on Easy Grid, and it was a complete no-go. Because it's a black and white horse, I really needed him to be on like a more vibrant color. And so I went back and started again on, it was not a good choice. I did like 36 count Aztec Red 1/1. I mean, it was not gonna happen, because as hard as it is for me to see these colors, I mean, these stitches now, you know, I'm still gonna be working on this in 10 years. And so I need to be able to see my fabric. So switching to 32 count has been a game changer for me. I also don't have very many, like, he's my only Heaven and Earth Designs. It is retired. I will put the name of the artist down across the bottom. It's a retired chart from Heaven and Earth Designs, and I've owned it for a long time. I want to say since maybe like 2018 or 2019. And it's the only Heaven and Earth Designs I have. I do have other full coverage pieces, but they're all considerably smaller. I don't have a lot of full coverage pieces. And so my hope is that moving forward, I will always do full coverage February and give the black and white horse a full, 28 days to work on him. And then beyond that, I'm gonna have to give myself, I've worked on him at least another week or two besides that, and I'm still only at like 6.5 or 7%. And so one of the reasons I haven't done just a ton of updates is that I've been a little more monogamous of a stitcher lately. For example, in May, I only stitched on red and white, and then in February, I only stitched on the horse. Moving into July, I'll show you my plans in a minute, but I am going to stitch 3 days on Patriotic just through the 4th of July. Today's almost over and I have yet to put needle to thread, so that's okay. And then the rest of the year, the rest of the month, I will be stitching on Jolly July, just different Christmas pieces that I have going. So that is, those are all of my whips. Yay. So let me grab some haul. Like I said, I went to Stitchcon, so I got a little haul. Sit down and prepare yourself. I'll be right back. So several months ago, I made a trip to my LNS, Local Needlework Shop, which is the Stitch Niche in Arlington. For anyone who's new, I live in Fort Worth, Texas. In Arlington, the Stitch Niche is only about 20 or 30 minutes from me, so it's all too easy to pop over there. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I got from Stitch Niche. Then I'm going to show you an order that I had placed from Traditional Stitches, and then I'll show you Stitchcon haul. Please keep in mind that I have not done a video in 7 months. So this is, it's going to look like a lot, but this was over a period of 7 months. So sit back and enjoy yourselves. Okay, so I liked this. This is the Cricut collection, but I think the thing that I loved the most was just those 2 little patriotic birds right there. So I bought this, and I'm gonna stitch those birds and just have something kind of long. I think it's so pretty. So I'm gonna stitch this for patriotic stitching in the next couple of days. I bought this. JBW can just do no wrong in my mind. I mean, oh, her designs are just beautiful. And then following this gorgeousness by Erica Michaels, I went ahead and got the Bristol Berries that are so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's just right up my alley. So I went ahead and got these. And that was another Erica Michaels. This is my first ever Artist Designs, and I bought that. I think it's really sweet. It is called Count the Saucers, and it has like cup and saucers and flying saucers. It's very cute. I bought from Puntini, I bought Just One More Chapter and Other Lies. Isn't it cute? Just one more chapter and other lies I tell myself. Adorable. I bought this. It is Lone Elm Lane. Alleluia. I'm super into rounds right now. That is so pretty. I might make some color changes on that pretty little thing. And then I bought this Plum Street sampler. It reads, when my days are fulfilled and eternity I face, may this work prove that I lived at a sweet handworks pace. So, oh my, it's shining right back at my phone. Sorry. Okay, so that was what I got from the Stitch Niche. And then I had an order come in from Traditional Stitches. It's over here. And it's so pretty. I got a piece of R&R Reproductions. It is a full yard of Vanilla Bean. It is so beautiful. Let me find something bright white to hold up next to it. I think it's the best way to be able to tell what color it is. Oh, that's pretty true. It is absolutely beautiful. And this is 36 count, so this would be really pretty for the thing that I like to stitch on 36 count, most of the time, oh, the mail's here, are samplers that I stitch 1/2, and I use silk thread since it puffs up a little bit. So I'll have to think of something really, really special and pretty to put on that because, you know, R&R can be a little hard to find. So yay, that's a beautiful and special piece of fabric. And then, okay, y'all, now it's time, and that was from Traditional Stitches. Now it's time for Stitchcon haul. Yikes. Okay, so at Keepsakes and at the Annex, I know that everyone has seen a bunch of Stitchcon review videos. What I will say about my experience at Stitchcon is this. I went as a first-time person. As easy as it is for me to talk to my telephone, I am incredibly shy when I'm getting to know people. I was real nervous about going. I was going by myself and didn't know anyone there. And I had the most wonderful time. I sat at a table with 2 of the most spectacular women. There were only 3 of us at our table, and I think it was like a fluke deal, but we were able to spread out, and because there were so few of us, Lori and LaDonna, oh my stars, we really got to know each other very, very well, and they are just precious. I hope that all 3 of us will go back in the future. One of my friends that I made lives there in town, so I'm really hoping she chooses Weekend Bee again next year, and I'm hoping that LaDonna will go back too. Hi, LaDonna. So anyways, that was the best part for me, were building friendships. I made friendships with people that weren't sitting at our table, and I, of course, could not wait to meet in person a lot of the floss tubers that were also at Weekend Bee, that you feel like you know these people because you spend time with them. And so anyways, it was absolutely wonderful. I was in heaven. So let me show you what I got. I went completely banana pants on fabric. It was my downfall, was the fabric. I got a full yard. I figure if I love it, I may as well buy plenty, so that I can make sets of things. You know, it's economical in my brain. I got a full yard of Lugana by 32 count by Grace Notes Fabrics, and it's called Pistachio Frappo. Look at this color. Okay, wait, I'm gonna hang on to that one little piece of paper because it actually seems to work well, I think. Isn't that beautiful? The modeling is a lot heavier. You know, R&R doesn't. So both hand dyed, but just super, super subtle and a little bit more dramatic. I mean, both gorgeous, just meant for different pieces. So that was gorgeous. And so then I also got another great Grace Notes Fabrics, Lugana. I've never seen, part of it is when you've never gotten to see a certain dyer before in real life, and then you finally see their product, you're like, oh, I gotta have that. So I got another Grace Notes. It's also 32 count Lugana, which is my favorite thing to stitch on. It just is, for me, fast and easy. I can keep a good pace with it. I love the coverage, and it's my favorite. This one goes a lot more pink. So it has the browns, but there's like a red pink undertone to it, and it is absolutely beautiful also. And both of those have a lot of modeling. The next one I got is also a 32 count Lugana, and it's a full yard, and it is called Olympia, and it is by Mystic Fabrics, and it is so pretty. It's a near white. It's got some like gray and beige undertones, but it's almost like a near white. So let me hold it up with these two so you can see. So it's gorgeous. Then I got a yard of Fabrics by Stephanie Milk Chocolate 32 count Lugana. And it is beautiful. So, but these are also different than one another, that you just have to get them. You can't not. Or I struggled not to. I was having a bit of a hard time not purchasing them. Okay, so there's that. Isn't it pretty? And then I only have one other piece of fabric, and it's not a full yard. What is this? This is 32 count linen, and this looks like a fat half. And it is Needle Bling Designs Heirloom. And it's beautiful too. And yes, I did get almost exclusively neutrals, but that's what I stitch on. I occasionally stitch on other stuff, but I have, because I keep stitching on all my neutrals, those are the ones that need to get replenished. I have plenty of fun colors that are still waiting. So then I found the charts. This is so cute, y'all. I think several people, I know several people bought this while I was there. This is by Jordan Nicole, and it's called Probably Haunted, and it says, if one door closes and another door opens, your house is probably haunted. Is that the cutest dang thing? And I love her fabric choice too, that like, it's almost like a lavender so that all the dark purples still pop. Beautiful. I feel like I have something like this from leftover from maybe like one of my Mirabilias or something that would work perfectly. And then from Forbidden Fiber Company, this one was also a hit. So it's interesting because some of these you could just see everyone purchasing. This was another one for sure. Chicken Math. And I know exactly who I'm stitching this for too. Is that the cutest thing? Forbidden Fiber Company. 1 + 1 chicken equals, and it has all those chickens at the bottom. Adorable. So I will probably use a blue for this, but less mottled. And then, let's see. So one of the things that they sold was a bag, a stitchable bag that looks like this. I'm not gonna take mine out of the plastic. And you could buy the thread pack. And inside of our Stitchcon passport was a free design, and it can be stitched directly onto this bag, and it says Stitchcon 2023. And I'm sure people have finished this, so if you want to look at it, it's definitely, people will be finishing it before I ever even open my bag, for sure. Let's see what else I have on here. Oh, I got Kittens in the Round to match my Puppies in the Round. In fact, I can probably just stitch that right over there. Then I got these, like I said, I'm all into the round stuff right now. Oh, this was a JBW, and I'll be stitching it on white with red, and I'll probably use DMC 115. This is a Study in Blue by Sue Hillis, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Gosh, look at that. It'll take your breath, people. So pretty. Oh, this is the cutest thing. Women Who Behave Rarely Make History. Sue Hillis. Love that. Need to stitch it. I got 2 Christmas designs by Brenda Gervais. I feel like my Brenda Gervais stash could use some enhancing. So, and I finish a lot of stuff similar to that, so I might actually be able to pull it off. Aren't they pretty? Okay, so this one is called Christmas at Winterberry Cabin. I'm sorry about the glare. Here, I'll take this other one out. This one is called Letters for Santa. Let's see. So you saw my earlier Prairie Schooler, and I only owned this one. And I've seen the other ones, but I've never had them. And this has all of them inside of it, all 5. So now I can stitch up all these other wonky ones. I mean, check out, guys, I'm pulling this out of the plastic. You need to see it with your own eyeballs. Because explanation does not do justice to this particular Prairie Schooler. You have got a little fella riding a frog. There's a snail. Okay, look at him riding that little frog. That snail situation, rabbit, crow, and then I finished this one. I feel like I just need to finish them all similar and have a little set of pillows. Oh, they are so cute. So cute. I got this. Adventure Awaits, Stitchcon 2023 with the awesome bicycle. One of my friends is switching the red to, I think, hot pink. Or maybe just pink. Whatever it was, I remember thinking it was a great idea. I actually was holding this up to some pink fabric because I think that this would be cute stitched as is with a pink background. Then, oh, now this is right up my alley. This is Running with Needles and Scissors, and it's called Beloved. Prepare yourself. Check it out. Oh, there just are no words for those birds. Look at it. Good gracious. Okay. I try to always do that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Beloved. Okay. This one I've wanted for since I started watching the Sunshine Stitchers. I think, well, I mean, I've always watched them, but since they first bought this, I think they bought this at the same time. And it is designed by the Rebel Stitcher, and it's called Women of Honor Sampler. And it is so pretty. So this might be a good one for one of my new fabrics. Maybe even that 36 count with some silks. This would be pretty on something like that. Okay, so that is my Stitchcon haul. I have a couple of other things to show you very quickly, and then I'll show you what my plans are. So hang on. Okay, so I found 2 things at an antique store when I was walking around with my daughter. And the first of them is this little Japanese pen pillow. Let's see if I can figure out how to get that off. Well, I don't know. Let me hold something up. So this is what the pen pillow looks like, and each little head has a face with a little bit of fabric coming right off of the bald head on the top. It looks like this from the side. Is that the sweetest, most beautiful thing you've ever seen? I love it. So pretty. And then I bought this piece of needlework, and I don't know, I would love to know who the name of the chart or anything else. It's not old. This was stitched in 1997 by LHS, and I'm sorry, I haven't gotten the gunk off of it yet, but it was framed. There we go, that's pretty good. So if anyone knows the name of the chart, it's really sweet and it's already framed, and it was a precious little sampler, and they were practically giving it away. I felt as though it needed to come home with me. So I had some saved stitches, which I try to do as often as possible. I love saving stitches. And then the showstoppers of today's video, my new shoes. Look at them. I haven't worn them yet. I was like, I've got to make a video and then I can wear them. Oh yes, they do say cross stitch. I found these on Etsy. If anyone needs them, I can get you the information. Are they not fabulous? Look at me. How adorable am I gonna be? And I'm never gonna wear them to the barn. These will not be covered in horse manure, I promise. I'm gonna keep them as cute as long as possible. One day, they will probably become barn shoes, but I'm gonna try and wait a few years before that ends up happening. Guys, that is the end of my haul. Let me go get some Christmas stuff and my patriotic stuff so I can show you what my plans are for the month of July. I'll be right back. Okay, so I forgot to mention that I got some stitchy kindness from my precious friend LaDonna. So my tree only has homemade ornaments on it, and look what she stitched for me. It is a snowman on blue iridescent. She's put it in a globe with little pretend snow at the bottom. Is that not the prettiest thing? She's added white trim. It's so beautiful. The stitching is just perfect, all the back stitch. It is just beautiful. Everything about it. I love it so much. So, oh, I've got a kiddo running around. My apologies. So, during Jolly July, I would love to continue working on the quilter, the quilt shop. Let's see. I'm gonna continue working on the quilt shop. I would think I might be able to get that finished during Jolly July. I typically try to, oh, forgot all of my zippers, sorry friends. I typically try, whenever I'm doing Christmas type stitching, to put a little bit of stitching in on my Satsuma Street. I'm stitching Christmas in July on 32 count, and I believe it's taupe. I am stitching, and it's 2/2. And then I'm stitching ink circles Forest of Sumatra on 28 count 1/1. And it is tea-dye Monaco. And this is how far I am. Not very, but this is a long-term project. I'm not in any hurry. So I will continue working on this. Just a few lengths of thread. There's no rush on anything, to be perfectly honest, unless it's a gift for like a certain occasion. I give myself a lot of grace with finishing items. So I will also work on this piece, which is Bygone Stitches. Oh, no, sorry, Praiseworthy Stitches, Simple Gifts Christmas. And I am stitching mine on 36 count coffee dyed fabric that I dyed myself. And I'm stitching it 1/1. I'm sorry, 1/2. I'm maybe 1/4 of the way finished. Maybe a little more than that. But it should be really cute, and I'm not in any hurry to finish that one either. I think I started it in maybe like 2021, and there's no hurry. when it's done, it's done. This is one of my older whips, and I still absolutely love it. It is a design by Sarah Germani. Let's see, Sarah, that is the designer. And then this is the name of it, and it is a nativity scene. And I am stitching mine on 28 count even weave, and I am stitching it one, you know what, this isn't 28 count, this is 20 count even weave, and I'm stitching it 1/1. And I am here still at the bottom, and this is another long-term project. I love everything about this little thing. It's so cute and so sweet. So I'm just keep plugging away. I only work on it once or twice a year for a few days each time. It's one of those projects that I love pulling it out so much that it doesn't bother me that it's ongoing. I think I'll mourn it when it's finished. Let's see what I've got in here. Oh, I brought this over because I wanted to show you that this is where I got those smalls, those patriotic smalls. I found my bag, and this is Heartstring Samplery, and it's called Festive Little Fobs Americana Edition. And all those tiny little fobs that I did at the beginning. I think I did the flag and maybe this one, and I think I did another one. Anywho, I did 3 of these, so I wanted to show you that. But I also typically try to stitch one of these per year. So I think I've already done Peace and Hope. So I'll just pick another 1 or 2, and it looks like I stitched these on 32 count taupe, which should surprise nobody. And I stitched those with sulky threads. Most of my teeny weenies are stitched with 32 count taupe and sulky thread, and I go 1/2 using the sulky. And then I might pull out, the last few are maybe I'll work on them types. This one is, what is the name of this? It's a Dimensions kit, and Dina Half Stitch Cross Stitch is also working on this. Let's see if I can find it. I'm sorry, friends. What in the world do I have happening here? Oh, it was like folded and bent up in there. This one's called the Gold Collection Christmas Village Ornaments. And I am working on this little chapel. And I'm not very far along, and that's okay. Let me see where I am. And I'm using Kit Everything, and I have gotten to right there. And it's super pretty. And this is one of, when I was saying that I don't have very many full coverages, this is one of the others, but they are really small, which makes it nice. And even so, it's still taken me like 2 years to get a third of one ornament. Everybody should be as easy on themselves as I am. I'm like, you did great today, you're doing good. I mean, I really cut myself a lot of slack. Another one that I may or may not get around to working on is my Mirabilia Madonna of the Garden. I started this last Christmas, and I got a really good start on it for me. I got all of the pairs along the bottom finished. So, let's see where I am exactly. I am exactly right here. So it's time to start moving up on here. So that would be a good one to work on. There are only so many days in July, so I'll have to figure this out. Then another one that I may work on and I may not work on, we'll see. This one is Ave Maria, and it is by Modern Folk Embroidery. It's beautiful. absolutely beautiful. It is a stunner. So I'm kind of over in this area. And I am stitching this on 32 count dark cobblestone, and I am using sulky threads, and the colorway is 1082. How do I do it? I don't know how to do it. It's 1082. You're just gonna have to trust me on it. And this is how far I have gotten. It's beautiful. No hurry, but I do love it. And then I have, the last thing is, no, what's it? Oh, I know what this one is. This is another one where I typically stitch like one of the set per year. And I have finished, let's see. So this bag has a bunch of random stuff. I have all of these, and I've stitched several of them. I have both of these in here. These are Spirit of Christmas by Leela Studios. And I think I've stitched either 2 or 3 of these. So I have a few more of these I could stitch. And I always stitch them on 32 count taupe with sulky. And then the other thing that I've stitched some of but have not yet finished are these ornaments. I think I've stitched either 2 or 3 of these. So I'd love to get back in there and maybe stitch another one of those. That would be super fun. So my July plans are that. I also am working on, I have a start for a patriotic start. I somehow got a hair in my mouth. My apologies. I have a patriotic, I cannot remember the name of it right now, but it's the one that's the huge, huge flag. And all of the names of the states are the stripes, and then they have little like Quaker stars in the corner. I cannot think of it, but I've started it and I forgot to grab it. But I may pull that out and work on that a little bit too. This is a lot. I'm saying that I'll probably do about an eighth of that. Be real proud of myself. You guys, I hope that y'all have had a wonderful summer. I hope that wherever you're living, it's a little cooler and maybe a little less humid than it has been in Fort Worth here lately. We've been having some darn hot days. They have been ridiculous. So I hope that wherever you're living, you get a little bit of a break and stay hydrated and all that kind of stuff. And we're home, we're doing good. There are not many life updates. My youngest child is about to start driver's education, which for whatever reason, this milestone is kind of killing me. She's my baby. And so I've got that going on. And then my oldest 2 children are just doing fantastic. They're happy and doing well. All 3 of them are really. And so our life here has been very, very busy. I would say that this season of life has not offered me quite as much stitching time, but I'm doing my best to carve it out for myself. And we'll see. I mean, I get done what I get done. I'll miss these days. I know that I will, where things are busy and we're on the go. So I'm trying to kind of take it all in. You guys have a great rest of your July, and I'm sorry it's been so long, but I will be back when I am back. And happy stitching, everyone.